Welcome back. It is Urban today, and the war still goes on. We are, we are trying to find out why it is becoming increasingly difficult for mothers, yes, mothers, to make the decision to stay at home and look after their children. Yet we do know that the more women stay at home and look after their children, the more we increase the chance of having a better child. What is happening these days is that many of our women, caught up by the emancipation craze, are choosing to go to work and make more money and compete with their husbands, as it were, in order to build better houses, provide bouncing castles, and all sorts of lavish parties, while the children are left to the maids. And horrific stories about maids with children are continuing to be a feature in our papers. And to have this very controversial discussion with us is Mildred Apenyo, who is in charge of Fit Click 256, and she's also a writer. She's certainly not amused about my introduction, but that is coming. And next to her is Beatrice Langariti. Beatrice Langariti is a scholar as far as family matters are concerned, and she is a stay-home mom. Yesterday she told us she made a decision to cut off her hair in order to save money to look after her children. And after her is a very familiar face, Frank Gashumba. And Frank Gashumba is a dad. We would suggest he becomes a stay-home dad, but that will come into the discussion. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Mildred, let's begin with you. You are the most incensed by my introduction. Do you think that I am suppressing the rights of women?
Well, I think, first of all, you're making such blanket statements, and then you're assuming that mothering and motherhood is assigned to a particular sex. Even my father can, even a man, can take on childcare, and fantastically. And I've met so many men who are actually better at childcare than their partners, than their wives. You know, and when you make it a women versus men issue, where do you leave homosexual couples who take care of their children fantastically? Where do you leave?
That's the homosexual subject is not the one we're discussing.
No, I'm not talking about a subject. I'm talking about actual lives out there where these two men or these two women are taking care of their children fantastically. They're actually finding a way to, to create a flow for themselves as partners. So you cannot make a blanket statement that all women, all these women who are buying bouncing castles and throwing lavish parties, are doing it at the cost of their children's development. That is absolutely untrue.
Beatrice, you want to weigh in?
Yes, fortunately, for me, I've had the opportunity and privilege to stay home for 9 years. And I couldn't think of, those years were greatly amazing, and I could not trade them for anything. Yes, right now I'm back into the work world. They had to hand me from home. And I know that when I made the decision to stay home at the time, I was always confronted with the question of when would I ever want to go back to the work world? And I was not really sure, but one of the statements or responses I used to give was, maybe when the children are older. But what do you mean, how do you define older? But then when this opportunity was presented to me in mid last year to come and head this organization, I really had to think very hard, because that's not something I've been thinking about. So when it came to me, I really talked to my husband, and I realized that even though I'm a mother, personally I also have my passions and dreams and desires. I want to be able to contribute to the society, apart from just through my children, but also have my own given aspirations.
Okay, Frank Gashumba, should women stay at home? If yes, why? If not, why not?
Before you can go into that, you have to apologize to our viewers. You guys told me I have to be on TV at 8. I was here 5 minutes to 8. And I have a big following, people who follow what I do. So when you tell them you'll be on TV at 8 and you feature at 8:30, it's terrible.
We apologize to the viewers that Frank Gashumba was supposed to be on at 8, but due to events that were very interesting, we apologize for that. Is that taken care of?
Sure.
Brilliant. Let's go on with the discussion.
Personally, I believe the first assignment we have on this planet as parents is our families. And I believe there are women outside there who are not comfortable working. You guys always talk about women should work. Who tells you that every woman would love to work? There are women who are interested in being home every day to take care of their families.
Men too.
I've not seen one.
I know some.
Let
I know men
let
who
him
would
finish.
much
Let him
rather
finish.
be
Let him
house
finish. Let him
husband.
finish.
But personally, staying home won't make you a good mother. You can stay home the whole day, but you are watching TV from morning up to sunset. There are working ladies in Kampala, you know, who are good mothers. They leave home at 6:30 every morning, come back at 7. And they have beautiful kids. Kids with values and morals. So to me, the subject would be, how do we raise good children?
Okay.
You can be a stay-home mother, and you are the opposite of a stay-home mother.
Busy gossiping.
Yes. Another thing, that's something I talked with a friend in the corridor here. Do we prepare our ladies to this institution called the marriage? Do they know what they are going to? To me, I believe parenting is a sacrifice. I'm a single father. I know what I go through every day. Sometimes I have to wake up at 5:36 to drop Sheila at work. How many parents do that? So to me, it should be, are we good parents? She may be a stay-home mother, but she can do the opposite. And in Uganda here, unfortunately, now if I can switch, women of today value their jobs than their families. She would rather get a corporate job where she's paid 9 million than raising children. Unfortunately.
Now, we don't know what your position is. You are switching positions from one point to another.
My position is
disagree because
if she's interested in working, let her go and work. But what is important, she must balance work and home.
Mildred, throw in an answer, then we will
He
we'll
says,
get... Yes.
you know, he's switching from so many, you're in every corner, Sebo. So now I feel like I disagreed greatly with what you said about women generally, you know, wanting to stick to this 9 million shilling. I just quit my rather well-paying job so that I could have time
How
for
many are you in this country?
my fitness
How many are you?
initiative,
Let her finish.
and then so that I could also have more time with my 2-year-old baby sister, whom myself and my sisters and aunties are helping mother. We're actually mothering her. Yeah, we are the mothers that she knows.
Now.
So I quit my higher-paying job to actually have more time with her. So I don't
Just a second,
understand
just a
what
second.
the
question is simple.
Frank, just a
How
second.
many ladies are willing to quit such a job?
Let's just a moment, Mildred and Frank. Just give me 1
A lot of
second.
women that I know.
There's a lady here who made the decision to stay at home. We want to hear from her. What made her make that decision? Because one of the things you must understand is the baby is born, and that is a critical stage, I hear, of their development.
Yes.
Should that responsibility of both parents, should both parents hand that responsibility of the very formative age to a maid so that they make more money?
No way.
Or should one of them, I don't care which one of the two, stay at home and take care of that process, and then we make money later? Beatrice, come and weigh in on that.
Okay. First of all, I just want to say that I am a product of a dysfunctional parenting. And I didn't know that. Of course, there are things that I kind of didn't understand. I was hurt, I was angry. I have scars here as a result of, parenting. My father one time was beating up my mom, and I got cut in the process. I nearly died. And so many sad things happened along in my journey. And so once I got to know that, and then later on went into training, the whole marriage and family, I began to think about my life, and fortunately at that time I wasn't yet married. And so there are things I started asking myself, what can I do differently? How can I stop this dysfunctionality? Because I was already feeling like myself, I was already dysfunctional in many ways, very insecure in myself, and very angry person, very bitter, and all those things. And so as a result of that, I made a decision. And one of the things I told myself is I want to be able to be there for my children. And I asked myself, what's that going to mean? And I thought, it has to start there immediately. I choose to have children.
Okay. Mildred, you find what she decided to do, to stay at home and postpone her career, as wrong. Is that what I hear you saying?
No, I find that it was a really courageous decision, but it's not a decision that everyone is going to take on as the right decision for
Why
her.
shouldn't other women take it?
Because everyone's situation is absolutely different. Not everybody has grown up with a background, one that gives them the kind of outlook on life that say Beatrice had. Yeah, and a lot of people, and everyone has different support systems. Everyone has a very different experience. So you cannot have a blanket statement saying all women should quit their careers for 10 years. You know, not everybody is in a position where they'll be headhunted like she was, you know.
After 9 years of being a stay-home
After
mom.
9 years of being
In my opinion, after 9 years of being a stay-home mom, you're ready to go back to the career.
Are you really? Because opportunities will have changed. So many graduates are getting into the job market, you know. So much is happening, so much is changing. By the time you come with your rusty skills of 10 years ago, there is a campuser who just left campus who had a better education than you because things keep evolving. Then what happens to you and what happens to your children?
You speak
know,
like somebody with a lot of fear.
With a lot of fear,
that chances are running out of life.
No, I feel like...
Tomorrow. Let me keep it.
Yes.
You can even decide to work from home.
Indeed, but then
You are still a stay-home mom. Yes.
How many employers are actually open to people working from home? Would
Frank, let us know.
Looking for jobs, you don't hate it. You can be a billionaire working from home.
Indeed.
You can be. Let me supplement on what she said earlier. Studies are showing that children from the age of 1 to 12, everything that sinks into their mind, they never get out of that mind. So unless the first 12 years we really reserve them for our children, this country has no future.
And both mothers and fathers, you know,
the viewers of Urban TV now, when do you spend time with your children? That's the simple question.
Because once your paycheck is about 9 million, it means you go at 6:30, drop your kids, and by around 9:30, you're not yet back.
No.
In many cases, I mean the cases I know, there's a lady I know, sometimes she even gets called at midnight because there's this special meeting that she has to attend.
What's happening with her husband? Is he able to care for the children? Does she have systems in
So
place?
from day one, you must, if you do work for New Vision, from day one you must show them that what comes first is my family. I report at 8:30, leave at 6, Monday to Friday. It's not subject to debate. Unfortunately, ladies of today, they would rather entice their boss than the family.
Beatrice wants to say something.
I'm actually very intrigued by what is going on. I just wanted to sort of draw you to just into my family, but again building on the point of why I actually chose to stay home and how that really has blessed my family. My family, I have 5 children.
How old are they?
The firstborn is 10. He's going to be 10.
Don't say they are breast. We don't know what will happen after 10 years.
Oh dear.
Okay, let us speak.
Let's pray that they continue the way they are.
Let us speak. She's laid the foundation.
Yes. So,
you have 5, and the youngest is?
The youngest is will be 5.
Will be 5.
Yes,
okay.
not from now. Yeah.
I have to pray for you.
You have to pray for
Because I'm trying to know
Pastor
what
Frank, let Beatrice finish.
Pastor Frank, you seem to be a man with a lot of fear.
I know what's outside there. Drugs are everywhere.
Indeed. This
You may
is
raise
true.
good children, but in the school it's the opposite.
Let Beatrice finish.
It's a foundation that you give your children, though.
Okay, Beatrice.
Yes, and then also, because I have all this training, I felt like it's not fair that I go helping other families and not really give my family, benefiting from my training. And so I thought I should be able to walk what I preach, and so live by example, and that's why I chose to stay home. But first of all, my son, my firstborn, is autistic. And then me and my husband, along the way, chose to adopt 2 children.
Yeah.
And then the other 2, also, the biological. Now, when we adopted these 2 children, we really didn't go out for the ones that I see how when people are adopting, they normally go for the brown ones. Like if he was in
the handsome ones.
In a what do you call it, a baby's home, they would already be.
Why?
Because he's a handsome man.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yes,
Somebody should tweet that.
They like the brilliant ones, but we really went out for those that. After a while, the kids that are, let me call them remnants, or the ones that are left out, are shipped to an orphanage. And so we asked for those because they said nobody wants to take them. And so we took 2 of them, who were really not very well. So we stayed home and worked through with them. And it occurred to me that these children have been in an institution for a very long time, and we're bringing them in a home. And if we're bringing them in a home, I want them to have the benefit, the privilege of being able to enjoy the gift of me and the father. And I realized the best gift you can ever give a child is time.
It's time.
The gift of time.
Briefly, it is becoming embarrassing these days. to even talk about the fact that you're a housewife or a stay-home mom. I'm telling you. Other women,
And I struggled.
Yeah,
I did struggle.
there is
Because
definitely
people would
pressure
ask me,
both
listen,
ways.
listen, didn't you struggle
I did.
with
People ask me
even
in
other
terms of
women?
even
Yeah.
titles, you know, like, oh, okay, so when I'd go with my husband, because for him, his role was kind of defined in terms of work, you know, he would easily say, where do you work? And so when I say to people, when they would ask me, where do you work? I really did stammer. I would tell them I'm a stay-home mom, and they didn't really understand that.
Yeah. And men would, a man who has a stay-home wife will be called by other men chauvinist and oppressive. Isn't that true?
Yeah, it
In,
is,
te-
but
in 10 seconds,
Ugandans-
are you men making it difficult
No,
for
no,
women to stay at
Ugandans
home?
Should live a life that they want to live. Gashumba, let me tell you.
Let's leave it at that. I've run out of time. Are you women helping other women to stay at home, or are you making it difficult?
Well, definitely there are pressures, yeah? The societal pressure for a certain kind of success is very high. So obviously, there's going to be people pushing back at you saying, no, don't stay at home, or saying, oh, no, don't go to work. There's definitely going to be pressures. What you cannot do is be like a wind vane being blown all over the place,
let's just leave
You need
it-
to have your values and your foundation.
Now, this is
you
what-
need to know what you want.
This is what we're going to do. We're going to take a break, do business unusual, conclude the show, then come back and do another show that we will post on our YouTube channel, because this has just begun. Let's get that break.